with a rest bar. Shot with a rest bar. Shot with a rest bar.
Have you visited us online for the grand opening of KBLA.store? For the best in new merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store. Be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all the official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580.
The bounce is back.
We've been on a tragedy for months. Why can't you agree with me for once? Maybe we can be on chill tonight. Maybe I can give you chills too. We've been on a tragedy for months. Why can't you agree with me for once? Yeah, maybe we can be on chill tonight.
One time.
Maybe I can give you chills.
I'm getting mine like fine wine measured in time. Many other brothers love you, but this pleasure is mine. It's no pressure for us to say that I love you from now. So that cup, that is one that's be comfortable now. For real, who you loving, who you wanna pull up with? Who don't care who you dating, long as you care and you trust. I'm trying to hear all your problems so I can lighten the load. No, you not fighting alone, cause I'm protecting you from it.
You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. I'm your host, Robin Ayers, with you Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. on your ride home or at home, wherever you are. I hope you're having a great Thursday. Happy birthday to Wale. That song, first of all, Wale is an incredible artist. I don't think he gets enough props. He does not. He's not in the conversation, right, Andy? Okay, I agree with this. Wale, y'all, go home and play some Wale. Celebrate the man. Stream his songs for his birthday, all right? That's the least we can do to thank him for his artistry. He's good like that. Anyway, that's my little Wale rant right there. Andy came in with a hit for us, and I appreciate you as always, Andy. Well, hello to you. I see you all showing up already, coming into the YouTube chat. That is great. If you want to call in today, you can do that. Some of you, it's about time. It's about time. You've been watching, you've been listening, you have been all the things. You've been texting and DMing me, all the things, which is great. But sometimes feel free to call in. I love hearing from you. I love getting your perspective on different conversations. And today is one of those conversations for me. I really can't wait to discuss this. You may have seen it on the flyer already that we're promoting. But we'll get around to that in just a second. Remember, you can call in at any time, 1-800-920-1580. You can join us over in YouTube. That's always fun. I like to see your names pop up in your comments and all the engagement. I love to see it. Well, let's get to some updates because Lizzo is back in the media. Lizzo, I feel like people have seasons. And maybe this is just not a good season for Lizzo. And I'm sorry to hear that. Just as a human being, as a woman, I'm sorry to see another woman kind of going through so much right now. I don't know. She may be guilty of all the things she's being accused of. But right now, we know that she's being sued again from someone else. Okay, she was already being sued by her backup dancers. We discussed all of that several weeks ago. That is pending. And of course, as we have updates, we'll let you know. But she's being sued again for allegedly bullying and harassment and racial discrimination in the workplace. And this is by a designer, Asha Daniels. And she's saying Lizzo and her team, they just didn't make it right. All right. So, wow. Similar, to some of the things that she had been accused to previously. We will see. I'm not saying that Lizzo is guilty. She may, people might just be trying to take her down like they've been trying to take Steve Harvey down. Who knows? But anyway, we'll bring you more once we get that information. Anthony Anderson, after 19 months of separation, his wife had filed for divorce. You already know that. She had done that twice, but this time she actually went through with it. He is now ordered to pay $20,000 in monthly, at least $20,000 in monthly spousal support. Anthony, I don't know what to say about that. Their kids are grown, but, he had paved a really long time of a successful lifestyle for his wife, and she had become accustomed to the lifestyle that they were living. So this is what he's been ordered to pay. I don't know for how long. Is that usually until the other spouse gets married? I don't know if that's the case, but that's the news there. Deion Sanders had an extra guest in his room today. He said he had to get out of his room because he had an extra guest, an uninvited extra guest in his room. He said he made eye contact from the peripheral of his eye. He saw something and he turned his head and he made eye contact with a mouse. Question of the day. I know how I respond. Are you staying in a room where you get eye contact with a mouse or a rat or a squirrel or whatever? So are you staying in the room? Well, Deion Sanders says he ain't staying, okay? He says some people are going to come there. They're going to empty out all of his things, his shoes and bags and clothes and everything. They got to take everything out, and pretty much they have to find this mouse and all of that before he can go back in there. So he said he was scared. Now, I get it. You know, I don't like mice either. So anyway, that's all that we have for you in the updates. But I do want to know, I have a couple of questions of the day, but I want to know, are you leaving in a room where you find a mouse? What are you going to do about that? So I'll have that up in the poll for you guys in just a little bit. But let's go ahead and get to the Raw Report, Andy.
Now it's time for a breakdown.
Okay, well, this is so good. I came across something today that really struck up this conversation. This new generation of provocative women, you know, they come in many different forms. We've got Megan Thee Stallion, we have Sexxy Redd, we have Sukihana, we have all these different women. A lot of these young rappers, these young rapper girls, women are very provocative, very sexy, very sultry, all of the above, but they're catching a lot of backlash. Now, why? I know I've said some things. I've said a lot of things, but I'll tell you what I came across today that somebody read me. Okay, it wasn't directly to me. This was a general post, but it was to me, and I want to see if it's to you. We will discuss the different eras of provocative women. Why are we judging this new generation? This new era, why? What is the difference? And we'll try to break that down on the other side. We're also going to get to DJ Vlad. A lot of people say a lot of things about this man, but he right now is calling out Nicki Minaj. There's a lot of background beef with Nicki Minaj and her husband, and Cardi B and her husband, and there's a lot of beef going on. But DJ Vlad is calling her out. He's saying you got to avoid women like Nicki Minaj. And I'll break it down as to why he's saying that and see if there's some truth to it, see if this is going anywhere, what can be done about it. We're going to get to all of that on the other side with our entertainment contributor, who I'm so excited to have with us today, but we'll get to that all on the other side. You are listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
Hey, I'm Damian Young. I'm chilling with Robin on the Raw Report.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are now in Big Tobacco's Fantasyland. Welcome. It's a healthier world where they want you to believe that vaping makes quitting cigarettes a breeze. Never mind the evidence that vaping leads to using both. And if you're younger, even better, teens who vape are 3 times likelier to use cigarettes. In Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, the deadliest industry is your friend.
Big Tobacco's idea of smoke-free is a dangerous fantasy for us all. See reality at undo.org.
MVP's bonus days are back at Lowe's. Shop the largest selection of Klein tools and get 5 times the bonus points. Plus, right now, buy a DeWalt Power Stack battery kit and get a select DeWalt Bear tool free, up to a $249 value. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid 9/18 through 9/29. Subject to change. DeWalt offer valid through 10/11.
Don't settle for bumps, ingrowns, and itch due to dry skin. Venus for Pubic Hair and Skin is here with the only razor and regimen specifically designed for your pubic area, featuring a razor with a patented irritation defense bar and skincare regimen that is dermatologist and gynecologist tested. Venus helps protect your pubic skin from shave irritation. Visit GilletteVenus.com to learn more about our full regimen of products.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Tired of being locked out of job opportunities and shut down by systemic racism? KBLA stands with you in fighting for the rights of black workers, and we don't black down. The Los Angeles Black Workers Center is a dynamic alliance of workers, organized labor, community-based organizations, clergy, students, and scholars, working collectively to improve the position of the black working class. The LA Black Workers Center takes a comprehensive approach to addressing the black jobs crisis. Their programs promote access to quality jobs, racial equity in hiring and retention, discrimination-free job sites, and they prepare black workers for employment in high-wage, career track jobs. The Black Workers Center supports workers who need help protecting their rights on the job. They give workers access to quality jobs and remove systemic barriers to employment. To sign up for free career readiness training, get involved in organizing around anti-discrimination, learn about union apprenticeship programs, or sign on to a trade registry, please visit www.lablackworkerscenter.org. That's lablackworkerscenter.org. Together, we can beat the black jobs crisis. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Raw
Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Boy, it is so funny talking to you guys or engaging with you guys, watching how you vote, watching what you say inside of the chat. Well, right now, 100% of you say you are moving out the room if you see a mouse or a rat. Andy, are you moving out? Oh, okay, he's moving out. Okay, well, I mean, some people are just gully. They'll grab the rat or mouse, they'll trap it, and then, kind of let it go on its way. But what if there are others? Pretty Brown Mimi says Dion had a mouse problem at Jackson State University. What's going on in Colorado? Listen, I don't know, but I said maybe, the babies are, having babies inside the bags. That is really disgusting. That's really disgusting. I take it back, Dion. I take that back. Well, you guys continue to vote in the chat. I am going to go ahead and bring in our contributor of the day, reporter, all things entertainment and news, and this brilliant journalist that we have here, Cheyenne Corinne. I'm trying to make it different, Cheyenne. I'm trying to bring you in with a little razzle dazzle,
Switch it up a little razzle dazzle. Can't complain. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much. I hope that you are as well. I gotta know where you stand. Are you moving out the room if you see a rodent, or are you just gonna have somebody trap it, and take it out? Or are you actually moving out?
I'm out because right now I'm ready to actually leave my apartment because my bedroom is having these ants. And I'm literally ready to pack up everything, leave the apartment. So I'm definitely leaving because of a mouse, because these little ants are driving me crazy.
And that's a tricky one, too, because ants, they're so small, they can get anywhere. So, yeah, good luck with that problem. I'm sorry that you're having that. That sounds similar to the little gnats situation that everybody's having these days, the little tiny gnats and fruit flies.
Up? Yes, everyone has, the gnats. I got the ants. I'm like, we cannot win.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. Well, anyway, you guys over in YouTube continue to vote on that. But let's go ahead and jump into this first conversation that I want to have.
Okay.
I have to read to you and to all of you who are listening. There is there's a post that I read today, and I felt like it was directed to me. Now, this comes from a man who he wrote a post, and he's writing these things to just in general, right? But I felt like it was an attack on me. He says, I'll read it, you guys. All right. He says, y'all don't like Sexxy Redd. Okay, let me stop right there. Sexxy Redd is a young lady who is a rapper. She kind of came out of nowhere, and she is rapping about all kinds of to me, it's nasty, it's provocative, it is just whatever. But she's blowing up. She wears a red wig. She's just doing her thing. Okay, so let me move forward. He says, y'all don't like Sexxy Redd because y'all are 35 plus. That's it. That's the start and the end of it. The sooner you can accept that you are aging, the sooner you can stop writing think pieces about the societal condition of Black America, a condition that has been unchanging for centuries, by the way. You're not hip. You're not cool. You're paying $30 to see Bobby Brown dance at 265 pounds because of nostalgia. Y'all send me links about cruises. Y'all complain about the weather and customer service in stores. Y'all love a good brunch. He says, y'all talk about I love a good day party on here every weekend because you can't fathom starting your night at 11 p.m. anymore. Y'all buy accessories for grills and lift weights to prevent injuries now. You do edibles because you can't handle hangovers. You also can't be single to save your life. So again, y'all are aging. That's the issue. I'm tired of y'all talking about a little girl who ain't talking to y'all. He goes on to say, basically, we all had it in our day. We all listened to the same kind of music. Again, it was around surrounding a certain type of it was in a certain era. So of course, you know, at one point in time they couldn't say certain things on television. At one point in time you couldn't show certain parts of your body on television, or certain things couldn't pass on the radio. But nowadays, again, as we evolve and we push this entire as we push society forward, we're able to say much more. We're able to have much more freedom of speech, and we're able to wear different things. So it grows. But is he right? When I think about Cheyenne, think about this. And please, if you all are listening, or Cheyenne, you have somebody who you can tell me even before. I started with Pam Grier. Pam Grier, who was Foxy Brown, right? She was the quintessential example of provocative and sexy. She was that woman, especially in the Black community. She was that one. And maybe she was a little bit too provocative for that era. But, you know, we moved forward. We had Naomi Campbell, who was a model, and Tyra Banks, but showing all the body parts on Sports Illustrated. But we deemed it as beautiful and sexy still, but beautiful. But the more we went on, we had Lil Kim pushing the envelope further, Foxy Brown. We had all these different women who were just as provocative in their own era. But now, here we are, 2023. We've got Sukihana, right, who's twerking it on red carpets, and her mouth is just, it's almost unbearable for me. But you got a lot of girls like that. Lotto, you got Sexxy Redd. I mean, there's a bunch of girls, and they are all doing their thing. But is this the same thing, Cheyenne? Is this the same thing as it was with Pam Grier?
I think the key word you just said is it's a bunch of girls. I feel like why it also seems like a lot is because it's just oversaturated. Like, why? Like, there's so many of them. And, like, you know, you just named, like, 2, 3 that were, like, throughout. And, you know, there's also many more. But those, you know, that they were spread out. You know, I think that it's oversaturated, but that's also, like, the times we live in. Like, I remember before there were IG models. Like, I remember the first time I saw, like, a quote-unquote IG model, you know, with the booty, the thong out and stuff. Like, I forget which one was the first one, but, you know, I remember the beginning of, like, you know, like, the vixens, like, taking things to the next level. And I think that a lot of things come down to, like, what we consume, you know, and what sells. Sex sells. So I do, like, it is, even for me, like, I'm not even 30 yet, but it's a little much for me. And I'm all about, like, women doing whatever they want, but it's just much. But this is where we live, and it's people consuming it, and it's what's selling. And I feel the same, honestly, about a lot of, like, men's rap, too. Like, I love rap in general, but I have found myself listening less and less. One, because I just don't think the music is that good anymore. And two, I think that it's very much so on the women's side, like, based all around sex. On the guy's side, a lot of it is based all around drugs and getting women. Like, I miss music that made you feel uplifted, and, like, I will find myself having a quiet car ride because I just don't feel like listening to music that is degrading. Like, I just don't. And it's like, So I am with you. I get what the guy. I don't even get what he was saying. Honestly, I don't. I think that, you felt red, but no, don't feel red because I'm under 30 and I think it's much.
Well, I'm older than you are. And so the fact that he's saying y'all complain about the weather, I do be complaining about the weather. When he said y'all buy accessories for the grills, I do be buying accessories for just different things. And I do like a good brunch, all right? And I do like a nice cruise. And I don't want to turn up at the club. So yeah, he read me a little bit, but
he read me too.
He did. So I mean, I felt seen, but I felt like he was calling me out a little bit. He said, Pretty Brown Mimi says he's wrong. I don't get Sexxy Redd, Sukihana. I don't get it. And I think the issue here is that what people are saying is that, okay, fine. If you want to be provocative, like all the women who we just named, and Andy, he brought in, some good examples, Melissa Ford and is it Buffy the Body? When we started talking about video vixens and, again, everything started to move forward. Well, to a certain degree, when you look back, these women also had a lot of talent. So it's hard to, I was watching an interview with Pam Grier, and she was saying, yes, she was definitely seen as, in the 70s and the 80s, she was definitely seen as, sort of that sexy woman, the provocative woman at the time. But she was also well studied, and she had a lot of talent. And so once, you might be thrown off, or you might be maybe taken aback a little bit by her appearance, or maybe it might be given a little bit too much for you. But at the end of the day, fine. Okay, let's get through that. Let me put that aside. When I start seeing your talent shine through, then you sort of either forget about it, or it's not as pressing or hard to receive when you're looking at their image. It's not hard to receive when you can see their talent. I think with Sexxy Redd, and I'm bringing her up because this guy, he specifically talked about Sexxy Redd. But when you look at these women, you're like, okay, where's the talent? At least with Lil Kim and Foxy Brown, you could actually, they spoke a lot of different things that were like hard to hear. Even in that day, we liked it though. They might be hard to hear now, but you could at least hear the talent. They came with bars. They came with, it was like they were saying something at the same time. So I think that might be the problem. Right now, it just seems way too easy to become a star just because you are showing your body and making that the brand. This girl with her red hair, her glasses, I don't get it.
Yeah, the talent, I think that, I was seeing on Twitter, people just talking about, music sucks right now. Where is the talent? And I do think a lot of it is based on, the physical aspect which is why, there's a lot of more talented artists that just are not being pushed as much because they're not sexualized. There's artists out here, for instance, I'm from Philly. We have Tierra Whack. Tierra Whack, she's hot.
She's great.
She definitely gets recognition, but that's also not act like she's getting pushed like some of these over-sexualized rappers are at the same time. So, we have these people, but, they're just not a part of that overall agenda, which sometimes I feel like is hyper-sexualizing Black women. And, I'm all for their freedom, but I also think, there is just a way to act. How Sukihana was on her hands and knees on the carpet. It's just no need. And it's not about being judgmental. It's just why do we have to do that? If she was Black or white, I just think that we need to bring back, there's a time and place for everything.
Okay. I personally agree. Andy?
I think we say that, we want different type of music. We want talent, but we're not going out of our way to seek this talent, and then when we do find this talent, to support that talent. I think one of the reasons why the Sukihanas and the Juicy Fruits and what's her name, Ice Spice and all them are being pushed forward is because they're getting supported. Simple as that.
Agreed.
Yeah, I do agree with that, but I hate the fact that we are so, our standards have dropped. They have completely declined because I don't know why. I actually don't know why. I do want to bring up this comment by Marcus. He says, it's different with Pam Grier. she wasn't ratchet when she was happening in the 1970s in film. She was considered a heroine and a symbol of women's liberation. Sure, yeah, I definitely hear that. But to that point, maybe in that era, once again, everybody was able to do whatever they could within that capacity, whatever that era would hold. And for Pam Grier, at that time, may have been considered ratchet. Now, yeah, it depends on what we do, what we describe. You know, how we what we say ratchet means. Everybody probably has a different interpretation of it. But for that era, for the 70s, showing your body, your pushing everything forward, what would have been considered ratchet. So yeah, now we might look at it and be like, ooh, this woman, she opened up doors and she was beautiful. It was classy, all of that stuff. But in that era, what do we consider her? And, once you did that, once you decided to put yourself out there, because even think about a Marilyn Monroe, for example, right? She put herself out there. She was considered, obviously, sort of a vixen and all of that. Beautiful, nonetheless. But she pushed the envelope. And anybody who did that, that was considered sort of... what's the word? Taboo, maybe, for that time.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm just saying it's definitely taboo for our time right now, but it's also what we have the capacity to accept and to hold within this era. So
definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't even know where it's going from here. Everything, I feel that everything has a reset button. We can only blow air into the bubble so long before it bursts, and we have to have a reset, because something has to happen. And I don't know what it is, but I pray that there's going to be some change. Well, listen, we have
Me
to,
too.
I know you feel me on this, Cheyenne, because that's how we rock. We are always in agreement. We right here. I know what you're doing right now. We are right here, Cheyenne. Okay, listen. When we come forward, we are going to get to this DJ Vlad situation. Him talking about Nicki Minaj and her husband, that's a whole other topic, but we're going to get to it. Try to break it down a little bit on the other side. Right now, we've got news, traffic, and sports, but I want you to stay right here. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Lil Real Howery. Right now, you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. That's right. The Raw Report.
More of The Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. 9 Memphis, Tennessee deputies are being indicted in the death of a black man who was being held in custody. Last October, Gershon Freeman ran naked from his cell while suffering a psychotic episode. Video shows deputies punching, kicking, and pepper spraying him before kneeling on his back for several minutes. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says some members of the GOP want to burn the place down instead of reaching an agreement to avoid a government shutdown. A bipartisan group of House lawmakers is introducing a plan that would fund the government through January. Meantime, Black House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries told reporters today his colleagues on the other side of the aisle need to stop their infighting and move legislation to avoid a government shutdown at the end of next week. Have a great Thursday. Make it a safe one. And that's the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Major delays right now in Santa Monica. If you're headed eastbound on the 10 between 20th Street and the 5, watch out for slow and go traffic. Adding about an hour delay to your commute in West LA. Also on the 405 southbound just between Santa Monica Boulevard and Century Boulevard, slow and go traffic with a 30-minute delay. In South LA, an accident on the 110 northbound has the right shoulder blocked at Vernon Avenue. You're on the brakes from the 105.
Hey, if you're thinking of getting the latest iPhone, you need to stop and check out the insane, amazing wireless offer from Boost Infinite. To learn all about it, just pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dialed text message from iHeartMedia.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Dante Moore, a freshman from Detroit, has been named UCLA's starting quarterback for the remainder of the season. UCLA coach Chip Kelly was rotating Moore with junior Ethan Garbers through the first 3 games. Moore has thrown 7 touchdown passes and completed 62%. UCLA, ranked number 22, is at number 11 Utah on Saturday. Pressure appears to be building on Chargers head coach Brandon Staley to get the team turned around. The 0-2 Chargers are at Minnesota on Sunday. Staley was the Rams defensive coordinator when the Chargers hired him 2 years ago. The Chargers defense has been the main source of their problems. After 2 games, the Chargers have given up 666 passing yards, highest in the NFL. A lot of attention will be focused on how Staley gets the Chargers defense to play better at Minnesota. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Gotta stay fresh, ma. House shot with a rest bar.
Have you visited us online for the grand opening of KBLA.store? For the best in new merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store. Be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all the official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, this is LA City Councilman Curran Price, inviting you to the 28th Annual Central Avenue Jazz Fest on September the 23rd from 11 to 7 p.m. For nearly 3 decades, the Central Avenue Jazz Festival has paid homage to the legendary Central Avenue and its influence on jazz history. Jazz, blues, and Latin jazz will be featured on 3 stages of music. Co-headlining are Hubert Laws with special guest Eloise Laws and the Billy Childs Quartet featuring Sean Jones. The day includes plenty of food, merchants, and 4 pavilions focused on youth programming, art, health and wellness, and public resources. Parking is limited, so Metro and rideshare are recommended. Hubert Laws with special guests Eloise Laws and the Billy Childs Quartet featuring Sean Jones. The day includes plenty of food, merchants, and 4 pavilions focused on youth programming, art, health and wellness, and public resources. For more information, visit CentralAveJazzFest.com. CentralAveJazzFest.com. See you on the 23rd.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Keeping you informed about what's really going on.
Who's got next?
And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
How can I love somebody else if I can't love myself enough to know when it's time to let go? Sing. All I really want is to be happy. Oh, yeah. To find a love that's mine. It will be so sweet. Hey. All I really want is to be happy. I wanna be happy. That's mine. Yeah. It will be so sweet.
I know what she wants.
Hey, you are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. All right, That's the jam right there, Andy. Hey. All right, okay. Let me settle down. It's only Thursday. It's not Friday yet. That's the turn. Friday is the turn up energy. Friday is when I'm a dance. All right, okay. All right. If you are just joining us, welcome on in here to the Raw Report. We are having this, I feel, great conversation about old school, new school. Why are these new young ladies catching so much heat? We're talking about Sukihana and Sexxy Redd and Lotto and Megan Thee Stallion, all of them, when aren't they doing the same things that we had before in the 60s, 70s, 80s, but according to that time frame. So, we were talking about Pam Grier and Lil Kim in the 90s. Yeah, they were all ratchet and maybe showing a lot of skin for that era. But when we look at it now, or when we have those types of conversations about them and we look back, we deem them as beautiful and maybe classier, or they sort of helped to break down some of the barriers for women. So it's more empowering. I mean, so what is the difference? Why do we shame and look at these young artists who are coming up and they're doing the same things? And you know what? Let's get Cheyenne Corinne back on the line. Cheyenne, and I don't know if you'll agree with this, but yes. Andy and I, we were having conversations about why we can't necessarily be mad at them. Marcus Atkins, I believe it was you who said that Sexxy Redd is also from St. Louis, and basically she's the next hottest thing. And I hear that. But what happens if you are from the hood? You've lived in the hood your entire life. You've not, and I'm not saying this pertains to all rappers and all people who have this image, but I'm just giving you a hypothetical. I'm saying, what if you came from that type of that environment growing up? You didn't have anything. You had no money. All you had were dreams. And you are just a girl who's ratchet. You dress like this in your neighborhood, but you come out with a little song or something that puts you on, gets the attention of the executives. And the executives are the ones who hire you, and they're like, listen, we're gonna put money behind this machine to make you go. Now you're out here in these streets and you are only who you've always been. Are we mad at you? Are we mad at you? When we probably wouldn't have anything to say. If I went to St. Louis and I went to the hood in St. Louis and all the different communities and neighborhoods or whatever, and I see young girls who are walking around in their tank tops and booty shorts, and I'm not saying anything to you. This is how you are in your own hood. It's just that we took that young girl, we put her in the entertainment business in front of all the flashing lights, in front of all the cameras, and now we have something to say, and we're telling you, respect yourself and stop representing Black women the same way. Now, I know I sound much like a contrarian. I know, because I'm the one. It's me. I'm the problem. I'm the one who's talked about in the past that class, we're losing our way. Black excellence, we've lost our way. I've said that a lot. I still believe that. But but there's a side of me that actually does understand too. I'm smart enough to understand and have the logic to understand that people are who they were. We just took them, picked them up, and put them into the business, and now we're trying to come at them. Do you agree with this, Cheyenne?
I completely get it, because if someone came and picked me up, I'm just gonna be rapping like a news reporter, like exactly with a little side of ratchet, like that's who I am. So, and I do think that nowadays they don't have enough it's not like professional development, but like artist development, on just like developing artists, teaching them how to do interviews, like things like that. Like sometimes I wonder, I'm like, are these people doing their job behind the scenes? Because if they were, a lot of these sound bites that we get and we get to talk about, they wouldn't happen. They wouldn't.
Yeah. Fahima says some of these artists aren't really from the streets.
Now, I will say, when I heard Ice Spice talk, she's from the Bronx, but then when I heard her talk at the VMAs, like outside of her performance, I was like, this sounds like a completely different person. Completely.
It's true. We hear rappers all the time outing other rappers in terms of you didn't sell drugs. You weren't a gangster. Like, why are you trying to rap like that now? That wasn't your real life. I knew you I mean, Eminem was the prime example of 8 Mile when he when he did the battle rap with, I forgot his name, but he was like Clarence,
Yep.
you know, you went to private school, and so you over here trying to rap. Now we know that happens. So to Fahima's point, there are some people who aren't really ratchet or who aren't from the street life, but those who are, you know, Sexxy Redd, I believe in her and other examples of women who are like, this is who I've always been, you know. So in that way, you know, there is a side of me that says, you know, we have to understand at some point, number one, that we've all been there before. We were all dancing to Uncle Luke and you know, and all the things. We had Lil Kim and Foxy Brown and all of us. For we did Freak Nick. Thank you. We went to, you know, I didn't go to Atlanta, and so I don't know if you gonna show up on that Atlanta documentary, but I wasn't there. But we did it. I know people who went, and so we all had it. So I think, you know, at the end of the day, yes, we will evolve because we have no choice to do. We have no choice but to do so. We will grow up one day. We will mature. We will maybe even have other careers outside of music and being ratchet how you are now or whatever. We will grow. But in this time, you know, I think that even to myself, I'm telling myself, okay, have a little bit more grace. Have a little bit more grace. I always talk about extending grace to other people. So in that same vein, I guess I will go ahead and pull back and come up off these young girls, even though, like, if I ever see you in person, you know, we might have a conversation about it, but, you know.
You would snatch them up.
I'm going to snatch you up like Monique will snatch up the ones who are wearing the bonnets at the airport.
Oh, my God.
Okay. All right. We have just a few minutes left. I want to get your overall thoughts on this. And at some point, for those of you who are listening and have no idea what I'm about to get into, Nicki Minaj, who is a superstar rap star, she's married to Kenneth Petty, and her husband is he has been convicted, or at least allegedly, well, he was convicted, I do believe, of some sort of assault on a woman. He has done time in jail. He has a record, a past. He's street life, that type of thing. Well, Nicki Minaj and her husband and him and his friends are doing this whole outwardly sort of beef with Cardi B, another female superstar rapper, and her husband. And it's this whole thing going on. Well, DJ Vlad, who many have called a culture vulture in the past, I like DJ Vlad. He does interviews, and he interviews a lot of the people in the culture. Well, he's speaking up. I'm gonna give you a quick synopsis of what he's saying. But he said Nicki Minaj's husband is on house arrest for threatening Offset. Right after that, she previews a song on IG saying she got killers who will pull up and do what she says. This was the same Nicki who threatened to send her husband to Academic's house. This is a journalist or podcast guy who's very popular in the culture. She threatened to send her husband to his house because he commented on her. He says she did the same thing about Meek Mill. She's basically out here doing this. She's done this before. He said, have you ever heard a woman scream, my man will F you up, over something she started herself? He basically says that's Nicki, and he talks about the fact that women like that will start this beef. And I see Zoe Williams in the house. Women like that will start this beef, and then be the same ones to sort of be like, I'm gonna get my man, I'm gonna get my boys, I got people out here. And you know, he is right about that. There is again, this is probably an unfinished conversation because we can't really delve into it the way that I want to. But your thoughts on this, because I'm sure you've been following the whole story, the situation.
Oh, I have.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think DJ Vlad has a point? And first of all, I think he's bold for pinpointing someone like Nicki Minaj, and because of all the power that she comes with and all the sort of hubris, her husband, they all have this, you know, they'll make you kind of feel some sort of way. How do you feel about what DJ Vlad has said?
I mean, I feel like it's very much so like woman blaming, because at the end of the day, he's a grown man. He knew he was on probation. You know, this is all because of something that he allegedly, reportedly, maybe did well before Nicki Minaj. He knew he shouldn't have got on that social media and did what he did regardless. Now, on the other side, there are a lot of women who do stuff like that. I remember there was just a very public case. I don't remember the names, but it was, you know, someone who was, you know, going to trial. Pretty much the girlfriend got him and the brother into a large argument. He ended up killing the brother. This whole thing, pretty much the woman was in the middle. And that is a very real thing. Like when I'm doing stories, like a lot of times when you start connecting the dots, there usually is a woman involved in, you know, plotting somewhere in between of the beef. So I definitely think that that is a real thing. But to try to say, you know, I think that is sad because, unfortunately, for women, like, your biggest downfall a lot can be who you're sleeping with. And that's just the real. And the same thing for men, too, as well. Like, your biggest downfall can be the woman that you're sleeping with. And I think that it just overall, it sucks to see someone like Nicki Minaj, like, that is, you know, she's really considered an icon, but you just can't help but look at her crazy based on who she chose as a partner and father of her kid. That's like what I'm more. So, you know, that's what comes to mind. And this whole thing isn't like, oh, Nicki started it and now it comes like he's an embarrassment to me. So, yeah, I'm more focused on that. Like, yeah, does he have points? But I'm more focused on, like, him just being a clown and irresponsible. He has a son and he's threatening people on social media.
The thing that I don't understand is time and time again, year after year, morning after morning, we see rappers get killed. We see rappers talk about let's all come together. Let's, you know, squash the beef that we have. Let's create more of a peaceful environment where even if we don't have even if we're not friends or anything like that, we could at least be cordial with one another. There's enough space in this industry for all of us. We've had these conversations, and it's so disappointing to see not just the women, you know, going at it, because we hardly see thug women. And now it's looking like, Fahima talks about the Barbie. It really is. Nicki Minaj just consider herself the Barbie, but she really is a thug, right? I hate to see that we have this type of beef that still goes on. I mean, granted, the fact that they are public, it's just the dumbest thing you could ever do, putting all this stuff on video, threatening and all of this stuff. But have we not learned? I don't care what kind of beef you have. Like, when do you grow up and say, you know what? You do you. I'm going to do me. I'm going to stay over here. You stay over there. If you see me at the awards show, keep it moving. Like, when do we do that?
No,
when does that part come up?
I always tell God, like, listen, God, if you bless me enough to be rich, I promise I won't be in none of this dumb stuff that these rich people get into. I'm going to just get my bread and just, like, I don't understand having all of everything at your fingertips and you got time to be beefing. Man, if I was rich, I wouldn't be worried about nothing. Nobody beefing with me. I'm like, you are crazy. I don't get it. It's sometimes I feel like it's all a facade and they just playing in our faces and they all friends behind the scenes or something. Because there's no way that, like, you guys got too much money to be beefing like this.
It's too much money out there. Well, I don't know. I don't know if her husband Kenneth Petty is, you know, bringing on a lot more to her life than what she needs, but I'm not sure. I don't wish divorce on anybody, but I'm just not sure how much this can last and if this is going to be more of a cancer to her and her career, because he just seems to come with such negativity. But I digress on that. Cheyenne Corinne, please let us know where we can find you online.
Yes, you can find me on all social media platforms at Cheyenne Corinne, Cheyenne Thank you as always, Robin. I'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Appreciate you so much. My question for you, if you who are listening over in our YouTube, are marriages in 2023 bound to be doomed? Are they going to be divorced? Are you just bound for divorce? Let me know over in the YouTube chat right now. When we come forward, we've got your Who's Got Next, what not to miss. You are listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Denzel Whitaker, and I'm on the Raw Report.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Maisha Cairo here with a quick recap for my time at JP Morgan Chase's Advancing Black Wealth Tour. There were speakers Ian Dunlap, Damon John, Lynn Richardson, MC Light, Don Kennedy, to name a few. Take a listen to what Justin Grant, Community Development Lead at Chase's Advancing Black Pathway, let's see what he had to say.
So I'm Justin Grant. I lead community development and national partnerships for JP Morgan Chase's Advancing Black Pathway strategy. And so we're focused on strengthening the economic foundation of black communities, and we're making targeted investments in programs like the Advancing Black Wealth Tour to help us get our tools and resources out to the community to drive sustained impact over time.
So when it comes to black and brown people, it sounds like Chase is making it their personal responsibility not only to facilitate these events, but to educate and provide resources. So Mr. Grant, I have to ask, what does wealth building look like for the individual?
It's home ownership, it's having that freedom to be able to start your own business and create jobs in your community, and it's having that long-term plan towards retirement, having that vision for what you want your life to be, and you have the resources to actually live it.
I'm Maisha Cairo. Thanks for sticking around. That was my recap from Chase's Advancing Black Wealth Tour. First stop was here in LA, and they're taking it national.
Applications are now being accepted for the City of Los Angeles Emergency Renters Assistance Program. The program provides up to 6 months of rental arrears to low-income residential renters who are at risk of homelessness due to unpaid rent as a result of COVID-19 or other financial hardship. Applications will not be accepted after 6 p.m. on October 2nd, 2023. Go online 24/7 at housing.lacity.org or call 888-379-3150 from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and see if you qualify. Apply today.
Extended Family Outreach Ministry presents Praise Fest 2023, Worthy to be Praised Conference and Concert, September 23rd, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Redondo Beach Performing Arts Center. Morning worship, keynote address, and conference featuring women in creative arts ministry and leadership sharing our stories, His glory, giving all praise, honor, thanksgiving, and glory to God. Don't miss the afternoon stand-up and sing praises concert with the Katinas, gospel singer Babby Mason, Three Daughters, and Kevin Click. That's Praise Fest 2023, Worthy to be Praised Conference and Concert, September 23rd, Redondo Beach Performing Arts Center. For more information and tickets, go to PraiseFest 2023 at Eventbrite.com. Plus, for the next 48 hours, use promo code KBLA48 to get your tickets free. You do not want to miss this day of praise. That's PraiseFest 2023 at Eventbrite.com.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look. And unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So, let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California, once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at a gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event. Or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it. Together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. People with disabilities are extremely talented, resilient problem solvers that have so much to offer. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours.
Learn more and get involved at easterseals.com.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Raw Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, let's jump right into it. This is my guy right here, Bizzle. The song is called Poppin'.
Yeah. They say I'm confrontational. I want peace, just not at the cost of my silence. Speak up. Through the hood, I keep hearing people saying I'm supposed to die tonight. They can't destroy what they ain't built in the first place. So I'm finna ride tonight. I went from a truth seeker to truth speaker. Truth through the booth, your Bluetooth and your coupe speakers. Yeah. Run up in here, I cut an ear, I'm 2 Peter. I bucket fear, I chuck a spear like Lou Peter. They love it here, I hate it here. They murder babies and pervert the children and make it here. It's getting crazy, everybody claiming they gangster here. And everybody feel it, but nobody is say it here. This card over money, so I say what I want, dog. Yeah. Your favorite rapper don't need too afraid to be broke, dog. You lose your career pissing in folk off. But you could call black women hoes and kill all the black men that you want, dog. And I don't care if you hate that, I could take that. But stop claiming you real, knowing you hate facts. Sad thing is how fast you could diss a black queen and turn around and walk on eggshells for a drag queen. Bizzle, this what you wanted? I never came for the smoke, but if you gotta go down, then let's get it poppin'. And see, that really ain't what I want.
That's Bizzle. Called Poppin'. Bizzle is a hip-hop rap artist, but gospel artist. He's actually really fire, and he's actually really lit. Like, he's got a great career. Shout out to Bizzle. All right, check this out. What I don't want you to miss. I feel like I haven't given you this in a few days, but it's because we've had guests in our studios, all right? But here you go. This is called The Third Event, all right? It looks like Shaq is putting on or hosting this event. It looks really appealing. It looks great. It's October 7th. That's going to be a Saturday. And I know that because my birthday is right around that time, y'all. My birthday, just so you know, I probably say this very often. It's me and Andy's birthday in October. Just so you know, we're celebrating it's going up. All October, it's going up. All right, I'm the 12th. Andy, you are the 23rd. All right, so y'all, let's not play about this, okay? Anyway, this is going to be hosted by Shaquille O'Neal. If you want to find out more information about this, just go over to AXS.com. It's called The Third Event. Looks like it's pretty cool. I like to go to different things like this. So look it up. You guys check it out. It's happening in different places. It looks pretty cool. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right. It has been a great show. Thank you so much to Cheyenne for calling in. I appreciate you. Y'all already know who's coming up next with the hotness. That would be Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. I am your host, Robin Ayers. And remember, today and every day forward to be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. President Biden is hosting Ukrainian President Zelensky at the White House. The two leaders are meeting to discuss the Biden administration's ongoing support for Ukraine.